What is up, guys, and welcome to the stem and leaf method. All right, I ran this by my coach and said, "Does this name sound a little bit naff?" And she said, "No," so I'm running with it. All right. So this is the first module from the sales skills perspective. So this is going to be like an introduction, and what I'm really looking to do is just explain kind of at a higher level, kind of how this is going to help you improve your sales, basically. So, what is the stem and leaf method? So, it can be applied to any discovery based sales method where you're going through like a series of steps in order to find out where a person, is now, what the problem is and where they're looking to go and what could be the outcomes and of getting, the problem solved and the ramifications of it not being solved. So, like spin selling is a perfect example of this. Obviously, NEPQ will resonate with a lot of people watching this. I just want to iterate that I'm not a qualified NEPQ coach. I do have a deep knowledge of it, but if you ever did want to sort of get, accredited or like learn it from the source, that's a seventh level thing. Okay, um, so the way that the reason it's called the stem and leaf method is because um, if you look at this diagram here, the phases can almost be described as like a bamboo stem. So there's sort of segments really that lead in like a linear, I suppose, either horizontal or vertical pattern, whichever way your brain works. And the reason that there's a leaf there is a leaf is a almost like a segue that comes off the particular phase or the segment, just because there's a variety of reasons why the call needs to be interrupted. Okay, for a specific reason, and there's as we go later into the training, we're going to identify what these specific reasons are. So it's where does this come from? It's a very practical deployment of the flow, fix, and finish model that I designed in the Closers Radar book. And I take no credit for this type of selling other than just being an observer, because those who maybe know me know that I'm a coach, not so much a sales rep anymore. And so what I tend to do is I kind of, as good coaches do, I benchmark excellence and attempt to replicate it for the benefit of others on their journey. Hence, this is part of that. And I would say that I want to pay particular props to Matt Ryder, Marco Cortese, who are kind of like the early wheelmen of Sales Sniper. And as at the time of this recording, um, Sales Sniper is quite a massive company now, and there's a lot of very good reps in it, all sort of following a very similar to Matt's style. Or this style got a evolution of Matt and Marco's style from NEPQ. Okay, so how does a script integrate? Each phase of a script has a certain number of KPIs, like what needs to get from that phase in order for the sale to move along as fluidly as possible. Like not every sale is going to close. All right, I think if you've been in the game long enough, you know that there's certain marketing factors and on the day factors and things like that. But what we aim to do is do as much as we can on the day in order to where appropriate close the deal. Okay, so in each phase is kind of like a stepping stone, and there's certain KPIs that need to come from each phase in order to make sure that you're doing as best you can on the day in order to close the deal. Okay, so your radar is like your emotional intelligence, your ability to pick up on things, which will just get heightened, and especially as a result of this training, will be kind of trigger you to say, right, I need to do like a leaf here. I need to just like either move out of the sale right now, or just kind of store it and ready for the most appropriate phase. So that's kind of where like the leaf and stem method starts to make sense if you can see it in your minds. Okay, so like what are the caveats that you need in order to make this work? You're going to need a deep knowledge of the script. Okay, like what are the KPIs? And I'm going to be teaching you that um, over the whether you're doing small groups training with me or whether you're watching re-recorded videos, or like we're communicating on some other format. Okay, so you're going to need to know what are the KPIs for each phase, but also you're going to have to just do the hard work. Just like a like a pro in any industry is just not like a fly by night. They've done a lot of work in learning an array of skills. Think of like a surgeon or something like that. They've gone through, you know, different phases of medical science, right from the basic up to the highest, and that's what really makes somebody an expert, is the dedication that they make. So without sort of dwelling on that too much, it'd be an opportunity here for you to be a professional and learn like the rebuttals, the reframes, which would solve like 80% of the people that you work with as a prospect. Obviously, there's going to be outliers from time to time, but you know, having like a mainframe there to work from is optimal. And just like I suppose, a skill to a flexibility to hold off and use a leaf where it's most appropriate, is just a skill you'll acquire as well. So I just wanted to say that there will be a workbook if you're working with me, in small groups or whatever it may be. Even as part of this portal, I'll probably add it, and you'll probably be referring to recorded videos to help its understanding. We'll have a workbook that's going to be able for you to answer questions as to how your script, what are the KPIs for your offer, and the script that you're using. So this will be fairly contextual, and then you'll start to build up a catalogue of reframes, rebuttals, and everything like that. And then what that'll do then is that'll give you like a blueprint, that horrible dreaded word blueprint, so that when you go live on calls, you're so much more empowered and armored to know exactly what to do against the backdrop of the STEM and LEAF methodology, whereby you're going from phase to phase, getting what you need, and then obviously moving out and doing a LEAF where needed. All right, guys, I'm not going to dwell on that too much longer. I hope that makes sense, and look forward to delivering more of these sessions to you.